Hey gang, today we're going to do Bud's Bounce by Bud Isaacs, the guy who essentially invented pedal steel guitar. The most famous version of this is probably Buck Owens and his Buckaroos, but the version I just did is based off of one by Duke Levine, who's a tremendously good guitarist. You should pick up any of his albums. Now I do have the tab, and you'll definitely want it for this one. It's down in the description, so download it and follow along, and let's get going. Bud's Bounce. All right, here it comes. All right, gang. Let's go over this note for note. Before we do, just a little bit about the sound. First of all, I'm using a T-style guitar, obviously. I'm playing out of the bridge pickup, and I'm using a Fender Twin model with almost no gain at all. You want to keep it clean and a little bit of compression. And that's it. Now, you might also want to try the middle position on the selector switch there, on the pickup selector. That sounds really cool too. Give it a whirl. All right. So this song happens to be in the key of F, although there are some interesting Western swing chords, which we will cover a little bit later in the lesson. First, what I'd like to do is play the whole thing slowly. Starting from the 13th fret, we're going to play our pedal steel licks, and here it is slowly. And here's the bridge. And of course it repeats at the end. Here we go. All right, so there it is, really slowly, and you see there's some nice pedal steel licks. Now let's break it down line for line, or line by line. Here's the first line. We're going to start out with our pedal steel licks on the 13th. Okay, first two strings, here we go. Okay, I'm going to assume that you're relying on the tab, or at least using the tab to help you figure out those points exactly. But I will say, for these pedal steel licks, you want to play them such that your bends are very, very quick. So for example, this first one played on the 13th fret, you got your 13th fret on the first string, 13th on the second, you're going to bend a whole step on the second, like so. You want to bend up very quickly and down very quickly when you hit it again. You're not trying to bend it like a rocker and give it lots of vibrato. Not like that. just very clean, up and then down, just like a pedal steel player would do. All right, same with these others. All right, and the compression kind of helps with that. It gives it that pedal steel sort of sound. Okay, here's the second line. Now this second one's pretty neat. Starts out with the typical, or with the same pedal steel bend, and then you're playing this one right here, which is a C. So it's a double stop. You're playing C, basically 8/8 on the first two strings, and hammering the second one onto the 10th. Should say I'm saying this is a C lick. Just you could obviously play this as pedal steel too. You could play it like this. But we're just going to hammer it. Okay, and then we'll play this chord right here, which is a F6. So you've got your first, on the first string you got the 1, first fret, second string you've got the third string you've got the second. So it's that shape right there. Kind of Western country-ish jazz type of sound. All right, so we're going to come up to the up 2 frets, and then sort of just change that shape around. So we're using that shape exactly, and we're changing it all over the fretboard like so. You see how that's the same shape, so you can keep that same shape when you're moving around to G. Now you're in G. Now C. Down to B flat, right? And I like to think of, I don't know why, I like to think of prancing horses when I'm playing this, just so I can kind of keep that beat. Anyway, it should be, that's the way I think of like high-stepping horses, and then I sort of get the cadence right. All right, here's the third one. Third one's just like the first. That's just exactly like the first. All right, now here's an interesting line right here. So you're going to slide from the, oh, well, let's do the next line. I'll just do it and then we'll break it down. Okay. So first you're going to slide up to this. This essentially is a B flat triad. And then you're going to play this. So what's going on is instead of just a normal F and B and C in a normal chord, you're playing a Western swing type of progression. So you're going from a B flat to a B diminished to an F to a D seventh, which is kind of weird, or D ninth. Here, let me take off that compressor and you can hear it. All right, and then just a normal sort of turnaround in Western swing would be G7, C7, and back to our F chord, which I'm playing an F6. So it's that chord sequence kind of sounds like this. Then, if you're playing it a little bit up at speed. So that's what's going on there. Now for the next line, and this is the bridge, and it kind of goes like this. Here's the next line. All right, so that first part right there is outlining, that's over the chords, that's over a few chords right here. It's over a B flat, B diminished, F, and F7. And you can kind of hear it, right? So it starts out by outlining that B major triad, just like we did in the last lick. But now you go down and back up. And here's over the B diminished. Right? So that's just basically like a B diminished arpeggio. But anyway, that's what you're going to play over that B diminished chord. And then standard sort of lick. All right. Here's the next lick. All right, now, obviously it starts out the same. All right, and then here you play this. It's a double stop. 2 on the 2, 3 on the 3. Slide up one. Oops. That's a diminished chord there. It's 4, 6, 4 on the 3, 2, 1 strings. And now you're just walking down. You're playing a C6th. And I slide up to it from the 7th to the 8th. And give that some vibrato. Just walk down one. Walk down one twice. Now a really cool chord. This is a C, I don't even know what it is, but it's a C7th or C13th type of chord. And that is 10 on the first, 10 on the second, 9 on the third, and 8 on the fourth. And that's over the chord sequence. That whole thing is played over the chord sequence. I'm going to play that again. So the whole chord sequence is B flat, B diminished, A minor, A flat minor, G minor, and now your C, which is I play a C ninth, and then you're back to the regular program. All right, but you can really hear that that sequence over those those chords in that sequence right here. Now here's that slide where you're playing A minor to A flat minor to G minor. And now here's over that C ninth. Very cool sound. All right, the last part is exactly like the first. Oops. All right. Didn't talk about that one, but that one is essentially a 6th chord. Let's finger that one. We're going to play an F6th first, but we're going to just play on the first 4 strings. So we're playing the 3rd string, I'm sorry, the 3rd fret, 4th string, 2nd fret, 3rd string, 3rd fret on the 2nd, and 1st fret on the 1st. So like so. So the first one is we'll slide down from an F sharp to an F. Now we'll slide from a B to a B flat, keeping that same shape. And now we'll slide from an E to an F, so you've got to keep that shape but lift up your first finger and play that on the F. All right, well that's the whole song. I do want to say that on any of these, if you're having trouble with the pedal steel or you're having trouble with the timing getting to that, you can always, instead of doing this, you can always play this, which is a bar it on the 13th and hammer on. That sounds great too. It's not pedal steelish, but still sounds cool. Just make sure you do that hammer on. Well, now you know Bud's Bounce. All right, well, I had a blast making this one. This one's one of my all-time favorite songs. So, hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you on down the road, buckaroos.